Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Engelgeist. My name is Daniel. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that follow me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a shared collective reading. You need to figure out where it fits in your life best, if at all. Okay. It is originally created for Saturday, the 28th of May. It's not solely set for that date. Like if you're seeing it on a different date, but it still makes sense or it applies to a certain situation in your life, then by all means, please use it. That's not to be chewed on, bud, at all. So by all means, please use it and don't worry about the date. What else was I going to say? For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the daily videos. In there is just house rules that I want you to be aware of, how to contact me for a private reading, how to follow me on social media if you want. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like just ways of supporting the channel. All of that is in there too. So please check that out. I will be referring to the underpinning energy. That is the Sunday reading that shows us the week ahead kind of thing. And so I'll be talking about cards that maybe you don't see here. They were from either previous readings in the week or from the underpinning energy, which will populate in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. You can watch that video too, just to get perspective on that. If any of it fits, like I said, go ahead and take it. If it makes sense to your life or a certain situation in your space, please utilize it to support you in your decision making. But ultimately, you are responsible for your decisions. So let's check this out and see how we're ending out this week. Venus is entering Taurus. That's always nice. That's her home sign, I believe. So it's very much Empress energy. Okay, so and the moon will be in Taurus too. So Venus and the moon will be in the same. Nice. Taurus is so luxurious. Okay, let's see what's going on here. All right. And our card for the day is the King of Wands. We've seen a lot of Wands energy this week, and the moon was just in Aries for the last few nights, right? And I don't know if that's kind of some of this Wandsy, fiery energy. But what I am going to say, and I love this king because he's kind of feminine to me. Like, he almost looks androgynous, like he could even be a queen in a way. No pun intended, or I don't know. Maybe that just rings home a little bit with me. But it kind of looks like let's say, they kind of look like they could be either masculine or feminine, which I like that. The king, though, I will say this, is sort of the highest of the court cards, right? So they've got the most experience. They have the most wisdom. They've been through like the world and back, so to speak. And from their learnings of battles and kingly dealings and taking care of their people, they have a vast array of knowledge, sort of awareness, control, I would say even power, capacity for making decisions. All of the kings represent that. And I think that each king in their element represents maybe the realm that they're most predominant in or the most skillful in, right? Is how I kind of look at them. King of Wands is associated with fire signs, right? Or the element of fire. So we're talking like Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, which like I said, we just saw the Aries moon the last, I want to say 3 nights. The moon has been in Aries. We've seen this 5 of Wands that's been sort of haunting us. I believe that she was at the beginning of the week in the underpinning energy. And then she was also showing up quite a bit last week. The same card kept repeating over and over again. This king to me feels like, in essence, we've turned a corner, if that makes sense. I feel like, if anything, Wands to me is about taking action, right? Maybe being a little bit impulsive, but doing so from a place of spirit, right? Because fire, that element of fire represents with the arena or the aspect of spirit, right? And so when we're talking about the King of Wands, it's kind of like he knows how to make it happen. He knows how to take it. He knows how to make it his own. The King and Queen of Wands are very capable at like sort of, I don't want to say manipulation because that's not necessarily the right word. I get it's more about, in a way, sort of like bending the rules because they're so aware on like a spiritual level or on a different level, if that makes sense, that they're able to kind of maneuver through situations, challenges, decisions with an astute kind of like awareness or a keenness in a way that, and I said keen like, Keen, not king, that allows for like sort of swift achievement. Does that make sense? And so the king is the swiftest of them all. Like there's a great phrase that somebody coined that I admire, another reader that I admire, that she says, he is, I see it, I take it, I want it. I see it, I want it, I take it. And that is sort of like the gist of the King of Wands, right? Now, the reason why I say that is because yesterday we saw that Three of Pentacles. We had the Page of Pentacles as the underpinning in the midweek. There's been some sort of like building, a learning, a gearing towards a new path is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from all of this. Well, the King feels settled in the idea that, yes, indeed, this is what I desire. Yes, indeed, this is what I want. Yes, indeed, this is the direction I'm going to go, right? And nothing's going to sort of stop me. Wands also very much associates with travel or movement, right? Moving towards one's goal. When I look at this King of Wands, he's staring us dead in the face, right? He's straight on to us. So to me, it looks like the awareness is for all of us should be very present moment. If we're not in the present moment, if we're not paying attention to the environment around us, if we're not taking steps towards what it is we want in, sort of like a conscious awareness, now is the time to jump into that conscious awareness because this king is going to empower us. The other reason why I say that is underpinning him is um, the high priestess, and she is also, if I remember correctly from the Sunday reading, she's sitting head on, straight faced, looking dead at us too. And what I like about this is, although this king looks rather androgynous to me, right? So he has sort of like a femininity and a masculine balance going on. I do feel like even though he's the king, which would be more the masculine side of things, he's buffered by the femininity of the high priestess, right? Both of them, high priestess being associated with the sign of Pisces and highly spiritually connected and aware, um, uh, coupled with the action that the king will take and his connection to spirit by being a wands card or fire, says to me that we are on fire in a way. We are connected spiritually today in a way that should feel empowered, capable, willing, even willing to take risks if we need to, but understanding that we know where the risks are that we need to take and we have the knowledge or the secrets, because that's kind of like the underpinning high priestess energy. We have the secrets and the sort of deep spiritual sense and awareness within ourselves of what it is we want and how it is we're going to go about getting there. And we're looking at it very, in my opinion, we should be looking, I don't want to shit on you, but you would want to be looking at it from a place that is very, okay, this is what's in front of me. This is how I need it to be. This is what I need to do to get there. Does that make sense? And so, and then that push, that push from spirit, that deep knowing within, that's the high priestess that underpins and supports this king right now. So the action that the king will take will be led by the wisdom of the high priestess, if that makes any sense, guys. And so be prepared to make decisions, choices, movement towards what it is that you truly desire, changes that you may incite or instigate or want to see take place. I feel like this king feels very empowered to me, very almost nonchalant about like, okay, yeah, this is how it's going to be. Like, so whatever we're dealing with, if some of you are struggling, like, and I'm not saying that there should be no need for struggle, but if some of you are struggling, this card to me feels like we're going to stare it straight down in the face and just be like, look, this not today, Satan, like and we don't, and with the I'll say this, with the underpinning of the high priestess underneath this, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to say much within these situations, whatever we might be caught in. But if there's something that we're caught in that's like, let's say, frustrating, distasteful, aggravating, whatever, the king isn't going to put up with this shit, and neither is the high priestess. We've got better things to do, is what I get from these two cards. The other thing I am going to say too about this is High Priestess is Piscean, which is totally water. Like, you can't get any more water than Piscean. King of Wands is totally fire. You can't get any more fire than the King of Wands, right? And so when I look at the two together, they are opposite one another, right? They are sort of the opposite signs, right? Like, or elements. The fire would put out, water would put out fire, and they're not like sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Complementary, right? But here's the gig on this, is what I feel like. Each one is like powerful in their own right, and each one offers the other one balance. I also like that the king shows up in conjunction with, or in let's say, compromise with the femininity of the high priestess. There's this sort of balance that comes together. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if different aspects of ourself, our soul, our spirit are kind of aligning and making more sense. And there's a clarity within us, like I want to say more deeply within us, as to what we want, how we're going to go about getting there, and then moving towards it. Does that make sense? And so use this time to feel empowered in the decisions that you make. Use this time to listen to your spirit, your soul, the deeper wisdom that's coming from within, right? We don't necessarily have to convince others of what we know. That would be the high priestess's energy. And it was also sort of like the energy of the King of Wands is like, he's not out to harm anybody or be selfish, but he's also not going to sit around and wait on others to kind of get on his game plan. He's going to move on his game plan, period. Does that make sense? And the high priestess, she's giving him, like, I almost sort of see in my mind's eye, her whispering in his ear, like as if she's like sort of, his trusted advisor. Go forth and be prosperous. And the King of Wands is going to do exactly that. And he's going to be sort of dynamic in doing that, right? He's not going to take no for an answer. He's not going to let things sort of get in his way or get him down. So today should be a day to feel extremely empowered. The other interesting thing about this is we have that grounding stone for the week of the word freedom. The King of Wands would be somebody that would be very much about not only freedom seeking, but freedom creating, and not giving a shit about what anybody else says and how he gets there. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying we have to do it at the sacrifice of others, but we're certainly not sacrificing ourselves in the process with these two cards at play. So keep that in mind as you move through your day. Let's see what the Sacred Traveler has to say. Oh wow! The weirdest thing was I was like, if this card comes back out from yesterday, I had a feeling it was going to be this card, and sure enough, Gates of Triumph, success expands in your life. So we saw this card yesterday. As I was shuffling, I just had a flash that this card was going to come back out, and sure enough, it did. I was like, oh, it's kind of spooky. Okay, so King of Wands, I'm just writing this down. This Gate of Triumph, like I said, new paths are opening before us. Doors should be opening. We should be opening those doors, looking for them. Dawning of a new day. That sun there, the forest on the either side of the doors. Maybe times have been hard leading up to this point for some of us, but it's time to move on or let those things go and move in the direction that we most desire, that we most want. And we need to trust ourselves, our own wisdom, and our own truth internally, right? Our own intuitional sort of truth. That would be the high priestess underneath this, to move forward, make it happen. The high priestess too, being Piscean, she's not only just about intuition, she's also about emotions, that wateriness, right? So trusting how we feel and then allowing those feelings to sort of sync up with our spirit, which would be the King of Wands also. And then allowing our spirit and our feelings to kind of move us towards manifesting something better, more grand, more suited. And that's to me what this Gates of Triumph is, this card that we see here. And we're seeing it 2 days in a row. So it's trying to tell us, like, get it together. Not get it together, but be aware that you have it together already. Oh, and it's 15:15 on the clock for the video when I said that. I just looked at it. So, let me read you Gates of Triumph again, even though I read it yesterday, but we're going to reread it just as a reminder. Success expands in your life. The gates of triumph are waiting to open deep and wide for you. Inner and outer success is coming your way. Thriving is a state of mind. Accept that you can reach any goal you desire, and even more victories will expand in your life. The more you feel it, the more love, prosperity, fame, and fortune will pour into your life. The sacred traveler wants you to know, arriving in a foreign hamlet, wreaths of flowers are placed around the sacred traveler's shoulders. The townspeople celebrate and honor the traveler. The village elders know the challenges faced and overcome and are welcoming with open arms. If a situation knocks you over, get up and brush yourself off and discover what you've learned. You aren't a failure if you fall down, only if you stay down. So keep going and believe in yourself. This is what true success is. Acknowledge your accomplishments in life. That would be definitely the King of Wands too. They are more than you imagine. Victory, good fortune, and triumph are at hand. And I said this yesterday, guys. This Gates of Triumph card gives me big on like Six of Wands vibes, right? Of that sort of, even in the description, it's like the first thing that I picture when they talk about them placing the wreaths on the traveler coming into the town and the townspeople sort of celebrating him and all that he's been through. That's totally Six of Wands. And to me, we've got the King of Wands here. We've seen the Five of Wands in the early part of the week. And I believe we had another Wandsiness card somewhere this week. So Wandsiness, is that even a word? Oh my God. So get with it, people. Feel this vibe, folks. All right, let's get into the grounding stone and see what we need to be grounding in on this day. And the grounding stone, okay, I'm gonna say, do you need to be in my lap right now? Sorry, Cupid is like totally pushing to get in my lap. All right, the word is on, I believe this is malachite or it's aventurine. Either way, I'm going to say this. It's green. It's associated with the fourth chakra, right? Our heart. So kind of getting into our heart today and expressing ourselves from that space, even if it's only to ourselves, right? Because that would be the secrecy of the high priestess, right? And the emotionality of the high priestess. Focusing on our heart center today and opening that up in honor, right? And in wisdom, with direction, with assertiveness, with sort of passion, because that would be the King of Wands also. The word is namaste, and namaste means the God in me honors the God in you. And I feel like with the High Priestess and the King of Wands at hand today, we should feel empowered to definitely be able to see that God within us, even in all of our frailties, even in all of our, misgivings or failures. And that's sort of the story of the Gates of Triumph, is that the sacred travelers still celebrated, even though they know the journey that they've been through. And if you've fallen down, get back up and keep moving. Because the King of Wands is going to keep you moving in the right direction, so is the wisdom within you of the High Priestess. Also, when we honor the God in ourselves, we are much more able to see the godliness or, the higher selves of others and find true appreciation for others. And yesterday's card, I believe, was that Three of Pentacles, which is also about successful collaboration with others. So I feel like this namaste is not only like honoring ourselves, but in doing so, we also honor the God that is in others. In that perception or in that sort of consciousness, we do create a freedom for ourselves. We do create an opportunity to sort of open the doors to a new path or to a new vision, a new way of seeing the world around us, the environment around us, and also to feel supported by it, right? As we support ourselves, the environment will support us, and thus we can support the environment, and it becomes cyclical, right? And that's what I feel like Namaste is trying to tell us, is key into that compassion, key into the fourth chakra, be kind to ourselves, honor ourselves for the king or queen or high priestess that we may be, right? And then take that out into the world and watch how the world opens up to you in a way. and how you can like interchange with the world from a place of love and compassion, and see what sort of freedom, right? Because that's our grounding stone this week, that creates for you in the many different situations that you all might be finding yourselves in. I hope that makes sense. I believe that it does. I think it's actually a beautiful reading. So I'm going to leave you with that. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Bye.